Hello all, welcome to the HappyNessa 1111 channel, where we are committed to happiness, connectedness, and being you authentically and unapologetically. So today is Soulful Sunday. Specifically, it is January 10th, 2021, and I'm feeling all of you right now when it comes to how this year is starting off. That's enough said, because that's another video. But let's just try to keep our mental health in check already with 2021, because I think a lot of us had either high hopes for 2021 or maybe low expectations, but either way, it's interesting how it's going so far. So that's a side note. So I'm thinking of all of you all right now. But no matter when you watch this video, of course, soulful spiritual matters are of day-to-day life for those of you who are following that path. And so what I want to specifically talk about is empaths today. So, empath. So what does it mean to be an empath? So, an empath is someone who has an exceptionally high level of connecting with other people, which can be considered very positive in some sense, right? You specifically feel other people's emotions and their pains, and that could be either emotional pains that they have and the highs as well, so it can be positive or negative emotions, but it also can be the physical pains that people have. For example, you can sometimes sense someone's headache or their body ailments, even if it's not yours, and sometimes it's hard to distinguish what are my emotions, what are my pains, from what am I perceiving that is actually someone else's. So a lot of you might be watching this and don't even know if you're an empath. A lot of you watching this and know that you are an empath. And I'm trying to cater this video to both of you all. So there's the definition. The definition is someone who has an exceptional high level ability to connect with others. Specifically, you're connecting with their emotions or their physical sensations. That can be positive or negative. I mean, you can feel their positive emotions, you can feel their negative emotions. You can feel good sensations, you can feel negative sensations. And I'm trying to be more optimistic as I speak about this, because for a lot of empaths, it is great. I mean, it's like a gift, right? But to a certain extent, it can feel like a curse for many empaths, because what happens is, one, a lot of us are going through life not realizing what's going on. So if you're someone who's suspicious of this whole empath thing, comment below, ask me your questions, and I'll respond with, maybe trying to figure out if I would consider you to be an empath. And that's really something that you're going to have to answer for yourself, but there's a lot of data and information now out there. And let me do a time check. I want to see how long my video is going to be. Cool. So there's a lot of information out there, but I'm also happy to be a resource. So please comment below with any thoughts, questions that you have about being an empath, or whether you even are one. And today I don't want to get into too much of what's next. Like, if you're an empath, what? So what, right? What do you do about that? That'll be next week's video. That'll be next week's Soulful Sunday video, where we talk about energetic boundaries into detail. Because although it's a blessing and it can be considered, a gift, it is heavy, because a lot of people, even after realizing they are empathic, do not have a strong routine or practice with being able to disconnect themselves from other people's emotions and pains. And so what happens is, I'm finding that a lot of empaths show up as introverted. So that was me. So I only recently, in the last, 5 or so years of my life, have become a lot more extroverted. But that's because I know how to protect my energy and my emotions. I know how to go out and not connect on such a deep level with random strangers and also close family and friend members. I know how to disconnect myself from their emotions. Now, although I know how to do that, I'm still learning. This is still like a day-to-day thing, and I still find it draining to be social, and that is an indication that I'm not doing enough boundary work. So let me take a step back and say that I have some theories about these definitions that we have, whether you're an empath, introvert, highly sensitive person, or if it's all the same thing. Is it all the same thing? So that's a topic for another video. But what you'll notice is that you'll have a lot of research out there that talks about, more so to me, highly sensitive people, HSP, and then introversion. But you don't have too much data out there not like scientific data about empaths. You have more spiritual people like me who are out there talking about it. But it's interesting because I believe there is either an overlap or that we're talking about the same thing, because there's a lot of similarities in personalities and how people show up. If you're an empath, highly sensitive person, or introvert. With that being said, what happens is a lot of us, since we're going out there and feeling people's emotions, is we choose to stay to ourselves. So I was overly introverted, although in certain atmospheres, such as the classroom, I was always very curious, and so I would speak up and talk then, but very reserved. And I want to say that my definition of an introvert is not someone who's just shy and quiet, which that is typically how they display themselves often, but an introvert is actually someone who gets drained from being social. So it's not that an introvert can't be social. It is that an introvert, after being social, even with family and friends and close loved ones, often feels like they need time to themselves, a lot of extra time to themselves, and or that they need more sleep, like they are physically tired. So I always have been someone who needed more sleep, or, no matter what I did, having coffee at night, I would still be, previously, now I'm really sensitive to it. But even when I tried to, give myself extra energy as a child and in my adolescence, there was not much I could do to escape from just passing out, and needing so much sleep because I wasn't protecting my boundaries, right? So anyways, that's kind of supposed to be more of next week. What does it mean to protect your boundaries, and how do we do that? So that'll be next week. Today is just really, are you an empath? And that's why I'm talking about introversion, because that's how it comes up for a lot of people, is that you present yourself as, I don't want to be around a lot of people. And it's not that you don't like people, although a lot of introverts feel that way, that they'd rather not be social. It's that you believe that being social comes at a negative cost, which is your energy. And it doesn't have to be that way once you learn how to protect your boundaries and do specific things, right? So, how it also can show up, there was introversion, and anxiety. I think anxiety is a big one, stress and anxiety. So what's interesting is you have this introverted person such as myself, who can seem calm, cool, and collected, really reserved, nice, and just not trying to ever hurt anyone's feelings. And then you have another person who can be empathic, and they come off as kind of harsh or bold, quick to say something maybe offensive, and also very anxious. They have a lot of anxiety. And that person, what they're doing, instead of being really, to themselves, like the introvert is doing, the introvert is I'm going to take a step back and just stay in my little bubble in order to protect myself. What the other type of empath is doing is they're almost trying to counteract all the feelings and sensations they have. So they're going to go ahead and be bold and sometimes negative, and I don't want to say bully, but sometimes it can come off as being a bully. But they're doing that to actually protect themselves. It's because they don't want to feel, again, other people's pain. So what they're going to do is come off as being super hard and super disconnected, even though on the inside they're really connected to people's emotions. When they're home alone and when they really open up to a therapist or trusted friends, they feel so much. And that's why they got to put on this front that I'm going to be the bully before someone bullies me, or before those emotions overwhelm me. Also, anxiety. I just mentioned anxiety as well. Anxiety is a big one for a lot of empaths, because what's going on is you're perceiving so much information from from people, and it's overwhelming. So another common characteristic of introverts and empaths is that you don't like to be in crowds, because it's overwhelming, and a lot of people don't know why it's overwhelming. You just think, I don't like people. Well, it's because you are literally perceiving people's thoughts, emotions, feelings, sensations, and then what's crazy is that you often confuse them for your own. And this is a serious topic for me, but I've tried to make this video a little bit more of a balance, positive and negative, but it feels sometimes negative for me, because I've had close people to me who I feel that because they're an empath, they have anxiety that's long lasting, and so it contributes to their life in a negative way. And then also I have other people where it's been so negative and so intertwined with their personality that they've been suicidal, not realizing that it's not just their trauma. This person and people that I know have had life trauma that have contributed to depression and suicidal thoughts and actions, but they don't realize it's also them as an empath. You're literally not only taking on your trauma and your burden, but you're taking on the world's trauma and burdens, and you're carrying them, and then you could understand why someone might not want to be here on planet Earth if on this planet they are taking on the weight of the world, literally. And so it's serious, but I also want to make sure that I become more inspirational with it, because it is a gift. It's something that you can use to your advantage, and then you'll realize one of the biggest gifts that I've been blessed with on my path is that it's so amazing how connected I can be to people and how extroverted I can be, even if I still feel like I'm an introvert, without getting drained and with feeling inspired and uplifted and energized versus so drained as before. So that's something that hopefully some of you all are doing, or if not, that you can get there. So I'm going to stop there because y'all know I can talk, and that's why I say introversion. That's why the recent data shows introversion is not about whether you like to talk or how much you can talk or whether you're a good communicator. Listen, introverts can communicate well. It is that it's when the talking involves other people and when the socialization happens, typically we're drained. And that's probably why I like going in front of this camera, because guess what? I'm just talking to a camera right now. I'm not talking, even though I guess I am talking to people who will look at this video. It's different for an introvert to talk to a camera or to talk to themselves versus talking to people. So thank you so much for watching. Last week videos, I have Mental Health Motivation Monday about thoughts. I have Let's Talk Tuesday, which is a follow-up. I have Weight Loss Wednesday, but that's kind of like a short clip talking about how I lost 50 pounds with intermittent fasting and low carb. I have a Life Vlog Thankful Thursday video that's not the best quality because I was using my phone at the hospital, about when I got my gallbladder removed recently because I lost weight too fast unintentionally and didn't realize that rapid weight loss could compromise your gallbladder. So that happened. I have that for last week. So that's the first week in January of 2021. Of course, you're going to probably be, some people will watch this video whenever, but feel free to look at those videos, and then I'll probably have some link below. Will I have any link below? Yeah, I have another Empath video, so I might link that below in the description. Supporting this channel happens in many ways. Commenting is to me really important because I really want this to be that community of connection, right? That's one of the things that I say in every video is I really care about the connection piece and helping people who are like-minded and maybe not even like-minded for us to come together and still have conversations that are meaningful. So commenting below is going to help a lot for me to understand who is my community, who is my tribe. Your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So what are your questions? What are you doing that I can support? And yeah, what are your thoughts about being an empath or whether you're an empath and all of that? Okay, so I'm going to stop it there because I'm going to keep going if I don't. But yeah, just check out some other videos. Share this video if it's going to be helpful to someone else. Thank you for embracing my humble beginnings when it comes to the equipment that I use and the quality of sound and all of that. I really appreciate y'all, okay? So be you, be happy, because being yourself and knowing who you are is the foundation of a blissful life. So that's what I wish for all of you. Okay, see you later. How do I turn it off? I can't remember. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. Look at you, girl. That's just video one. I got a couple more videos to do. Yeah. Huh. Okay, how do I start recording? Bye. I've always been told I'm so smart and so dumb at the same sense. Oh, here's the back.